All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Gene Panasanka here with straightforward channel. All right, we're here with Anna Paula Nascimento, who is the founder and principal of Botani and Husko Diamonds. All right, she has been in business for quite some time. She has a beautiful showroom straight in the middle of Manhattan in the Diamond District, and we're fortunate to have Anna here. She's doing a lot of traveling. As a matter of fact, she is just about to leave the country again on her next overseas trip. So we're fortunate to get her on the program. Anna, welcome here.
Oh, very nice. Hi, Jean. It's a pleasure being in your show.
Well,
Really
thanks for getting on the channel, Anna. So I've known you for a few years now, and I think that you are an absolutely incredible person. I mean, you have a pretty incredible life story, being born in Brazil, and then, at some point moving to the US and being a successful entrepreneur and traveling the world and then seeing and meeting people and doing some business deals that, again, most of the people can only hear about, on television. So, as I said, welcome to the channel. Please share with our audience, about your life, how you got the business bug, so to speak, how you decided to move to the US and get in business.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for watching the show. I'm Anna Paula Nascimento. I was born originally in Brazil. I came to the United States at the age of 17, pretty much on my own. I was an artist. I started painting when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, as I decided New York would be the ideal place to come. So it's been about 30 years, not to tell my age.
So you came here at the age of 5, right?
Exactly, almost.
My God.
But it's been a long, long road in New York. I love New York. I'm an entrepreneur by heart. My last trade was restaurant and clubs. I opened a restaurant in 1999.
And was
Which
it in
I ran
Manhattan?
Yeah, it was in Manhattan. It was on 58th and First Avenue. Some of you might even remember. It's called Nascimento Fine Dining.
I do. Yeah, that was a very nice place. Yeah.
Yeah, with live entertainment. And this was back in 1999, prior to 9/11. So that energy in New York also had an impact on us. But we're here, we're overcoming all the ups and downs. Back then, also, I opened one of the first lounges in New York. So my
And it was still on the East Side, Anna.
Yeah, on the East Side by Sutton Place and 58th.
Yeah, Sutton Place, absolutely. Look, I mean, that's so, it's pretty much across from the United Nations, right?
Yeah, we had a beautiful clientele that came from United Nations celebrating peacemakers. So the energy and the vibration back then, prior to
a lot of international audience out there, and I guess with your knowledge of multiple foreign languages, obviously being born in Brazil, you're fluent in Portuguese, and then again, I personally had a chance to test your Italian and Spanish. I mean, they're just absolutely incredible. Yeah, so I do compliment you for the knowledge of those languages, and obviously had a chance to utilize them pretty extensively in dealing with all that international clientele of the club and the restaurant, right?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely helped. And also the integration of my own family. My dad was originally from Italy and my mom Brazilian, native Indian with African descendant. So I brought that culinary flair of fusion into the culture of hospitality in New York. That went really well.
So New York being melting pot, more than any other probably part of the U.S., and with so much, so many opportunities as far as the arts and the business. I mean, that was a perfect spot for you to kind of like put the flag, and launch the business, right? After you settled down in New York over, 30 years back.
Yes, correct. And then also I had displayed different artists on the wall of the restaurant. So that kind of brought the gallery.
Both like a restaurant and a gallery at the same time, right?
Yes, at the same time. And you feature local artists, international artists, to give an opportunity to display their artwork in New York as a gallery.
Some of them, Anna, they were overseas painters, right, and artists.
Yes, absolutely, from overseas. Oh, it was really.
So yeah, that was, again, let's put it in perspective. It was not just yesterday or the day before yesterday. That was before the days of the internet, when everybody got the iPhones and iPads. So how else would somebody from rural Brazil, for example, that may be a genius, but how else would he or she expose his or her paintings, different kinds of arts, unless they had somebody like yourself as a great and trustful contact that would actually put the art pieces, around the venues that you owned, and really would exhibit them and allow the people to view them and hopefully acquire if they had any interest, right?
Yes, absolutely. And use my database, my contacts that I've fondly and really kindly acquired in New York to attend the receptions so the artists can be
That's
exposed.
how we met, actually, right at one of the receptions. What did the Greek Consulate General, right, that I had the pleasure of meeting with you? I mean, really meeting with you in person and spending some time together, because I know that you've been very active through the years, at different places like Chambers of Commerce. That was obviously
Correct.
pre-COVID,
Yes,
when
we use
people
those
could go out
breakfasts.
and then meet each other, and network as business owners and executives and, professionals, being it CPAs, advisors, accountants. So that's how we met. Yeah. So.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely, definitely. Before the pandemic, we really enjoyed it. We were able to do much more than what we're doing right now because we were able to be civilized with one another and go to events and members only locations and
Members
all.
only, yeah. You can't
Oh,
get it overnight. It takes many, many, many years of hard work and effort, to get on those lists, to get invited. But once you do become part of that network, I mean, it really makes it so much easier to really meet new people and establish some kind of meaningful relationship that will work with you, will do business with you, or if none of the above is the case, they'll make an introduction to somebody who can benefit from your advice and your services, right?
yeah, absolutely. That's the heart of New York. I feel that you accumulate your network and you acquire your friends. They're also professionals. They're also working and raising their families and really being happy in New York. And we give each other that strength and that power. And I do speak that this is definitely very sensitive momentum for everyone with the pandemic and things that we're not really sure what it is. What is the COVID? When is it over? But we're going through, we're just re-energizing ourselves, keeping our faith strong that New York is no place like nowhere else. There's no energy
It's
like
always been
nowhere else.
very unique in terms of business,
Yes.
art, culinary experiences, art galleries. I mean, it just the list goes on and on and on and on. So we definitely need to come together, as a city, as a state, as a nation, to put behind whatever differences the people may have, whatever disagreements, they may have. Let's resolve them in a peaceful manner, without destruction, and let's understand that, hey, living in peace, it will just benefit everybody. People will have jobs, people will go back to the city as opposed to losing, incredible number of folks that left New York City just, over the last 7 months. I guess the numbers are getting close now to 600,000 people that left the city, which is
Oh,
an
wow.
incredible number. And it's like a domino effect. Somebody like yourself obviously have, tremendous online exposure, but again, an awful lot of business pre-COVID has been done by just foot traffic. You had people flying to the US, and New York is really the first stop for a
Mm.
lot of those travelers, coming here as tourists or in business or visiting friends and family in the US. And obviously being positioned smack in the middle of the Diamond District would give you a tremendous exposure to all that foot traffic. So now the numbers are down dramatically. What would be your estimation, Anna Paula? How much down the traffic is to your showroom at this time?
Well, after we all came back, now the office is open, the exchange is open, with my
Right,
new business. I noticed that not much change has been done.
right,
It should be maybe in some states or wherever you might be listening to this video information. But
right.
in New York, it looks great. The place is pumping. You got the outside cafes booked packed in the evenings. Hell's Kitchen is a lot of people walking around. And my office being in the exchange in the Diamond District on
Right.
West 47th Street, it's pretty much a very busy street.
Well,
There
I
is
visited your place, and I always, even before, all that public unrest, if you will, you always have been ultra, ultra, ultra safe place because of the multiple layers of additional security. So besides regular NYPD, you guys, I believe you also have private security, right? That again costs you money, but it's a money well spent because it gives you an extra comfort level knowing that very substantial investments that you and other owners, in the district, Diamond District, that you made I mean, those values will be protected a lot better when you have that private security, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. New York, I feel the security effort and what the mayor and all the authorities are conducting, it's we definitely need to understand that it's been a lot of work and they're putting a lot of effort and extra officers, extra security, extra special teams. You got the squad, you got FBI, you got everybody on the block, feeling super protected. And inside the exchanges, we have our private bodyguards and security of the exchanges,
Right.
and also conducting the COVID um,
Testing, right? Yeah.
everybody masks,
Yeah.
it's good, and really, really, it's been a growth out of this pandemic that in the long run, it's going to be amazing. We all come back somehow.
Well, amen to that, and let's hope and pray that that's indeed going to be the case, because it's just so much at stake for businesses, as we both know. And again, as a financial advisor, many of my clients are, small business owners, and it's a domino effect. The business rents the space, so the space is in a building. So whoever owns the building, if they lose the business, business just goes belly up. They shut the doors. And if it's more than one business, which again, what we have seen over the last several months, then the building becomes half empty and or more so, and yet the landlord, the owner of that property, they still need to deal with property taxes and still pay the utility bills and what have you. And the people which are really catering to your business, from the direct catering of food, to whatever kind of other vendors and merchants that are helping your business grow, I mean, they have to get out of business as well, because like a domino effect, chain reaction. So, I mean, a lot of things there obviously at stake. And diamonds industry in New York, obviously, it's a multi-billion-dollar business. So let's just hope that, again, we're going to have enough security going forward, and that insanity with defunding police will stop, and we're going to have, again, the officers, the police, teams that we need to protect your and other businesses in the area, and you guys, you can conduct business, and more importantly, serve the customers, because a lot of people, as you know, even local people, forget about, people coming from out of state, but a lot of local people from Long Island, from New Jersey, from Westchester, they're just not comfortable, to say the least. Some of them, they're outright scared of coming to the city after they've seen, a lot of those riots, businesses destroyed, and the people which have nothing to do with either side, they're just being attacked, randomly. And that's very unfortunate. But Anna, let's talk about great and positive things. I think that, again, you, unlike other people in the industry, you bring so much more value to your customers that really become long-term clients, understanding, what you have been doing for them over time, over years sometimes. So let's start with your gemological, studies, experience you got in Antwerp, Belgium. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So, going on the timing of my life, after the restaurant closed and the lounge closed, I pretty much decided to learn gemology, the study of diamonds and precious stones.
Right.
So I enrolled at GIA after many years of working for it. So GIA is the Gemology Institute of America, which is located in the Diamond District, across from my office at this point. And I did the course there, and being through the course, and my interest would be mining rough diamonds in my long run. I learned that there was a school in Antwerp. Antwerp is a small town in Belgium.
Well, it's a very small town, but I mean, they do have a global recognition. I actually have had a chance of meeting with the mayor of Antwerp that had a great, the House of Flanders, if you know, it's in the New York Times building, 44th Street, right outside of Port Authority. So they have, it's like a consulate and economic, economic arm of Belgian folks out there. And they had, a whole bunch of officials, including the mayor of Antwerp, and they've been talking about the things that, again, we're tiny as far as the size, but the world recognition that they've been enjoying. I mean, the traffic, all the naval traffic, all the ships, it's just absolutely incredible. But you being a jeweler, an artist, and gemologist, so let's talk about the diamond aspect of that.
Yes. So then finishing the gemology course at GIA, I decided to do a course at HRD, HRD is a renowned gemologist. He studies in Belgium for diamonds. So I went to Belgium. Within 2 years, I did about 8 trips, and I
It's a lot
finalized
of traveling.
courses. I know 3 courses, and the focus on those courses is rough diamond sorting and planning.
Right.
You can plan the cut and the quality, the color, the complexity of the 4 Cs.
Right.
And then following through, I also learned rough diamond management, which is the goal for my office. It's to mine diamonds ethically, correctly, and observing the works of the miners, of the people that are really digging and they're taking the diamonds out, and being a more investment aspect for the progress of those people.
I'm glad you bring it up because obviously nowadays a lot of folks, I mean, they're very much concerned about, where the product comes from, being it, coffee beans or cotton, products or diamonds, where again, it's a multi-gazillion dollar industry. And obviously after seeing, documentaries and movies, depicting those horrible, horrible, horrible things happening around, mining those diamonds, and the whole process of how they're being mined, illegally, child labor, slave labor, what have you. A lot of abuse, obviously, for those folks. As a minimum abuse, sometimes it's like physical extermination of the opposition sides, just all trying to gain control over those diamond mines. So it's a very lengthy trip, from the mine somewhere in Africa all the way down to the 44th Street, Diamond District in New York City. So I would like you to talk to the audience and speak about your pretty extensive experiences of traveling to Africa specifically. So go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. So after finishing my studies in Antwerp, and Antwerp, just to going back and give a little history, is the capital of diamond cutting from 1400. So they started the cutting of diamonds in 1400.
700 years.
Yeah, 700. So really, that's why when you mention about the mayor and they're having that proudness that even though it's a small town, it's quite powerful. It is just a beautiful, beautiful
Between the
place.
shipping industry, because they have, again, either the first or the second largest port in Europe,
Yes.
to, again, the diamond industry. I mean, they have absolutely incredible history. So I could totally understand the pride of the mayor and the CEO of the Port Authority of the city of Antwerp, in the pride they're taking in the accomplishments that they have achieved over years and decades and centuries, So yeah, I'm glad that you had that experience.
Yeah, it was great. So then I also decided to travel to different countries to find about the miners, to acquire partnership, which I'm still on the process of doing so with the right miners, the right location where the diamonds come from. So last year I had an amazing adventure flying to Uganda in Africa.
Wow.
To meet the miners and the rush and the powerful people there, just to see how we can incorporate my company here with them and in a philanthropical, not just into capitalism way, because they so need help from the side of the world. And
Those countries, they have natural resources to offer. They don't really have financial means in most cases to provide, research, development of those projects, and also security, because security detail, it's a huge issue between so many gangs, and rivalry fractions which are ripping those countries apart. I mean, it's extremely important to have the financial backup. So that's why they're always looking for the companies looking to take a stake, sometimes at the cost of offering some kind of percentage in the equity stake in those enterprises, in those mines, but at least that will allow them to keep operating the way that they plan.
Yes, and absolutely, it was wonderful. We met some people in the parliament. Then in the future, we can do further things for their citizens as well as the mining. And also in Brazil, being a Brazilian by birth.
Before we jump to Brazil, which is another fascinating, obviously, place to visit that a lot of people would love to, see one day, unless they already have seen them. But I remember you sharing with me your experience of traveling to some places in Uganda or other places in Africa. and some of them being unsafe to the level where you really had to hire a personal bodyguard, just to be on the safe side. Because look, I mean, it's a normal precaution for anyone who is not local, especially being, a beautiful lady that you are, and, having responsibilities in life. You have your mom in this life that you're taking care of. You have your son, so yeah, I mean, speak about that for a few minutes, if you will.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, the traveling in going to the country in the search of specific stones, because the way I predict my collection is to acquire the best stones in the world ethically.
Give us some names, because obviously everybody knows, diamonds and sapphires, but those are
Sapphires,
commonly
absolutely.
probably used, gems. But I mean, you have the whole collection. I visited your showroom more than once, and you showed me some of those beautiful things. I don't know if you have any samples.
We actually got some from Congo, and I can show you. Let me just take this down here. All right, some really beautiful, gigantic.
What is that stone, Anna?
It's a rough fluorite.
Right.
This can definitely be polished and just made into a statue.
Is it considered to be semi-precious?
Semi-precious.
Yeah, because the size, I mean, the size of your
The
fist.
size is gigantic. So this is a pink crystal. So it's a quartz.
Right.
So also from Congo, in terms of the rough mining. This is
How did you enjoy Congo? One of my doctor clients, she actually worked there. She's a doctor, and she worked through one of the government agencies, and she actually visited pretty much the whole world. I mean, 140 plus countries, which is absolutely fascinating. She says Congo is definitely, on the top of the list when it comes down to Africa. It's absolutely unique. She was telling me about her experience, with, the local folks, to the wildlife, the trips to safari, the interaction with gorillas. I mean, just absolutely incredible experience.
Yes, and absolutely. And also 12 other different stones that are as worthy and as price as diamonds. So those type
Which
of
is part
stones, yes.
of the Congo area, right?
Congo area is super rich, very, very fascinating. So on this long run, we get to develop different jewelry with their stones, as well as diamonds, and then also the metal, gold, silver, platinum, rhodium. They're also coming from that area in the Congo.
It's amazing that just one country that offers such a huge, extensive spectrum of precious, semi-precious stones, precious metals, just one country.
Absolutely, Gene. It's very it's exciting. The world, as it seems, is one thing in one side of the world, another thing in another side of the world. All we pretty much have to do is compromise it with each other and share. So
Yeah, come to terms. Yeah, we don't need to cut heads to each other. We need to come to
we
terms.
don't. It's come to
Life
terms.
is going to be so much more fun. Yeah, when the people have more, more jobs, they can create, cash flow, stream for themselves to take care of their families, and enjoy today and more importantly tomorrow. Yeah, it's
yeah, very
well, and Paul, again, I know that's your philosophy. I applaud it, and God bless. Out of your mouth into God's ears.
Yes,
But,
thank you.
yeah, let's speak about your motherland, if you will, and one of the most exotic destinations in the world, which is Brazil. I mean, such a huge country, with absolutely incredible population, but more importantly, applied to your line of business, Ana Paula, it's a place of so many wonderful stones and metals. So please, let's talk about it.
Yes, absolutely. So being from Brazil and learning the history of Brazil, Brazil, like Belgium, also being super powerful in the diamond trading back in 1970s.
That's far back.
Yes, had such a strong hold in the diamond sector in the world. Somehow along the ways, we lost it.
Do they have like a center, like in Belgium, it's Antwerp, which is a tiny city, but I mean, that's a center of the diamond industry. So when you speak about Brazil, and is it São Paulo? Is it Brasilia? I mean, what is the place in Brazil, you would say, which is the concentration of the diamond industry? I mean, do they have any?
Minas Gerais, Gene, Minas Gerais, because they have many mines around, which Minas Gerais, the translation to English, the name of the state is general mining.
Okay.
So the area of Brazil is very similar to what Congo is in certain aspect, which meaning the geological floor under the earth has a lot of richness, a lot of metals, a lot of different stones. that is unlikely in any other country. So Brazil do have quantity, quality, and everything above and beyond. Somehow, for the human values and political ideology, Brazil lost each place on the empire. But I'll tell you a funny story. When I graduated from GIA, I met the son of Rappaport, Eli Rappaport,
Right.
and he gave a nice talk about all the countries and what we're going to be doing after becoming gemologists out there in the world. And he mentioned everyone: India, Russia, Canada,
Well,
Australia.
multiple African countries, but not Brazil.
He didn't mention Brazil whatsoever. So I approached him at the end of the graduation. We had a little meeting, a little drinks, and then I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Rappaport, why didn't you mention Brazil? I'm feeling offended. I'm from Brazil." So
Right.
he read my name and he's like, "So Ana Paula," and then he gave me a smack on my shoulder. "Maybe that's your job to make that happen again, because for now we cannot trust Brazil." So
It's yeah. When it comes down to development of the region and the country as a whole, obviously it's an economic backbone, And if the country, the government is not willing to provide the funding for that infrastructure development, then again,
yeah,
they're looking for the foreign investments. And when it comes down to the people from outside the country, which are looking to put their money where the mouth is, I mean, they obviously don't have that comfort level because of political instability, I guess, of the country. And that pulls back the whole thing where, again, millions and millions, tens of millions of people actually, of population in Brazil, they could benefit tremendously if that was changing. So ultimately, it's kind of, catch 22, what needs to be done, how soon it can be done to make sure that, again, the people from outside Brazil, they do have confidence in tomorrow so they can bring the money and start, funding development of those types of infrastructures.
yes, that's absolutely correct. And I do have that faith. I do believe in Brazil. That's why I'm still planning to go back and acquire more contacts with the miners in local, even with the Indian tribes. They're going through some difficulties now, but they are on top of the biggest kimberlite deposit of diamonds in the planet. And we're talking
On the
about
Indian lands you're talking about, and
Indian lands, and it belongs to the Brazilian government. So the Indians, they cannot mine themselves, and no one else can. So
it's a shame, which is such an opposite, way of how the Indian nations here in the U.S., they operate their lands. If that's their land, that's their land, and whatever is
the
found
land,
in their
correct.
land, that's their land. Every penny in revenue, which is generated either through, mining or putting, casinos like we have in,
Mhm.
Nevada and Colorado, those
Right.
Western states, or, here in our backyard, Connecticut, for example, you're looking at all those fancy, casinos which are built on the Indian lands. I mean, the people, the residents of those areas, they're multimillionaires because they're generating such an incredible amount of revenue, and the
Mm.
government cannot take anything away from them because that's their land. So it's very unfortunate that, again, whatever population, indigenous population of Brazil, they cannot enjoy the same very benefits that their, brethren and sisters here in the U.S. have been enjoying for basically a long, long time.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I'm traveling again, to see if I can open doors and maybe be of help somehow for the Indians, as not political, but just as an investor from overseas, from the United States, and believe on the land and what the diamonds that we can get and the products that we can work together from the tribes in Brazil, because they're so rich of everything, a lot of knowledge as well.
The natural resources. But more importantly, again, it's part of the history. I think when somebody is buying a diamond or, piece of art made out of precious metal, it's a nice thing. And that's what I think separates you from many other people in the business. And that's why I liked your story so much, because, technically everybody can walk into, Kmart or Target, jewelry department, say, hey, it's a nice ring, I'm going to get it. But there is no story. So to me, it would be an empty kind of gift, that a person would want to give to somebody. When you meet with a client that walks into your showroom, or I know that a lot of business over the last few months, because of COVID, restrictions, traveling restrictions and the shutdowns, a lot of people, they conduct business with you online directly. So you really would like to get to know the person, and the final recipient being the fiance or, the mother or the wife, the anniversary ring. So you would like to hear more about the recipient. You would like to hear the story. And in this way, in this manner, you can really customize that jewelry, not just to be a diamond on a piece of precious metal, but it's going to be an artwork really, customized to that specific person and having some kind of story behind it. So I think that that's wonderful. And I would like you to speak from that standpoint, how you interact with the clients and how you custom tailor every pretty much product that you offer and bring to them ultimately.
Yes, absolutely. I think after having my experience in the hospitality business and studying the Gemology Institute and going forward and see where we have the approach right now on the street of 47th Street for the
Right.
Diamond District, that extra touch of being more kind, more caring, more listening to the client, taking my time as I grow eventually, my goal is definitely to have a place that's very comfortable for the fiancé to come, have a glass of champagne while we're deciding which stone to design the ring. And it'll be so romantic. I feel that it's just a special touch. And that's something that I actually also learned from Mr. Rappaport himself, is that in this time of uncertainty, because we're not sure what is going on in our planet due to pandemic, financial instability, is that we know people celebrate birthdays. We know people get married, babies are going to be born. Things are still going to be great to reward each other. So that's my difference, my talent in the field as a diamantaire right now, is that I bring that touch that I can be of listening and understanding, as well as selecting the best material to show my clients, the best stones, make sure that we have design. I have a designing team that works with me, that we can design a piece from custom made, just from a thought. The bride has an idea, she wants this specific jewelry, the specific diamond. We are able to do it that way. We're able to recut the diamond, make the diamond in a different shape. We're able to use a modified cut from my friends in Belgium that also represent a specific Frank Fabec that has created a different cut that is 161 facets in the diamond.
That's incredible.
In the usual diamond, as everyone knows, is 50, 58, 57, 58.
It's more than triple. It's actually more than triple.
And
Speak
he
about the
gets,
level,
yeah,
speak about
he
the
gets
level of
collect.
complexity
Yeah.
and sophistication. I mean, the eye that you need to have, the arm that you need to have, just to cut those diamonds. But you actually cut some diamonds yourself, right, Anna?
Well, I did a little polishing course, and it is something really fascinating that I hope eventually to do more of it, and we are actually planning to put a wheel in my showroom on 47th Street that we can actually cut the diamond, recut the diamond, fix the diamonds if the client comes. So it can be something that all the other jewelers on the block can benefit as well.
I think that would create an additional level of excitement and really even more personalized approach that you have been so famous to deliver, to your customers when you offer yet that addition to your existing extensive spectrum of services provided to the clients. Absolutely. We were restricted as far as time, but before we wrap it up, Anna Paula, if you have some jewelry pieces that you personally designed, and developed in-house, I would like you to share with our audience because I find them pretty fascinating. I mean, and again, every piece has a story. I still remember that beautiful artwork you showed me, that dragon, right? Which again,
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Asian clientele, but also, pretty much anyone who appreciates beautiful art. So that was absolutely breathtaking.
Yes, absolutely, Jean. And also, I just want to show it, one of the drawings. It's a piece that we have designed. It's called the Dubai palm tree. So
Yeah, named after that famous development in Dubai, where
I was in Dubai last year also.
Multi-millionaires, they buy condos.
Really, really beautiful. And also, let me just show here also a picture of the Munakra diamond cut, which is the cut I represent from Belgium.
Yeah.
That's the one with the 161 facets.
Right.
And show you some pieces here. We have this fascinating shower of ring. It's a diamond ring with 44 diamonds.
It's massive, Anna
That's
Paula.
This is a custom design that I've done. So as you can see it.
Well, lucky is the lady who is going to be a happy recipient of this beautiful
The
artwork.
fountain of diamond. You have small blue diamond
Right.
in an engagement ring.
Yep.
So lovely. Got some, this is a turmalina that was rough. So we polished it and then have a touch here at the end of one diamond.
Right.
Turmalina pendant. Here goes some delicate necklaces.
Yep. Very nice.
Yes.
Are those diamonds as well? That lady.
Oh, those are all diamonds. Yes, absolutely. You go all white diamonds. And we also have, you can see this one. It's a pink diamond pendant.
It's stunning. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Like a mandala with 16 baguette diamonds around. Yes.
I actually had a pleasure seeing it in person, that piece, but even on screen, it comes across as a very powerful, and very appealing artwork. Definitely beautiful.
Right. And then Botani Husko custom made any design a person wants, and the cuts as well.
Right.
And we'll be having a new collection for the Love Little Dragon coming out. We're working on that as well. And other things that our shop does also for the rappers and
Right.
the celebrities. We do grills for the teeth as well with diamonds.
They're becoming more and more popular. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get
The
it.
rappers, yeah.
The rappers and celebrities and men's ring. This is made with amber. So, and
So,
silver.
so you're really providing a full service spectrum
Full
of
service,
different
yeah,
products,
jewelry,
different kinds of jewelry and gems, in different kind of, yeah.
many different designs and
Beautiful, beautiful.
and also in our website, www.botanihusko.com. It's still in works, but will come soon. But also on Facebook, we are very present. We have a page, Botani Husko Diamonds, and we'll be adding our new collection there and looking forward to.
Wonderful. And if the people would like to get in touch with you through email or telephone number, and Paula, you want to state them, we're going to post them on the links below. Once we launch this interview on the YouTube channel, obviously. But if you want to state it right now, please go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. If you want to reach me through the email, my email is botanienterprises@gmail.com, or send me a text or a phone call at 646-242-1434. I'm very happy to help you with any way, anything, any jewelry you fix, any estate jewelry you'd like to make it again, or any design that you have in your head and you wanted to present someone, we can definitely deliver that.
You can take a dream and turn it into reality.
Turn into reality.
Well,
gold and diamonds.
I know your suitcases are getting packed as we speak by your staff.
It's true.
You're ready to leave on your trip. I do hope you're going to have a very safe flight. And, we'll connect when you're back to the US, all right? But in the meantime, again, thank you so much for coming to join us. I definitely enjoyed this conversation. Have a safe trip and best wishes, all right?
Oh, thank you very much, Jean. Thank you
so much, Nicole. Take care. Stay well.
Stay well.
Take care.
Likewise. Thank you.